Good time zones, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the beautiful Daytona International Speedway. Here on a Friday night, we have decided to turn up the speed just a little bit, on cap these drivers, and allow them to run at just about 220 miles an hour around this 2.5 mile track. Are we crazy here at Racers Elite on Racers Elite Network? Well, absolutely. That's exactly why we are here. But before we get to all the action, ladies and gentlemen, I am Mike Taylor up here in the booth, and joining me is Brandon Sanfilippo, who's usually down on the track, but he's decided to come try his hand up here in the booth. Brandon, how are you doing, buddy?
Hey, I'm doing good. I'm excited for tonight because all these drivers, including me, we're used to the next gen out at this track, which is a lot slower. So these have a lot more power. So with power comes more issues too. You get tight, you get loose. The aero causes some issues. Tire wear goes into play at this track. So I think we have a lot of factors tonight. 60, I want to say 68 laps, but a lot's going to happen, I think, in that short race.
Yeah, definitely a lot is happening as we take a look here at Truth Oak in that number 55 machine. Down in the bottom right hand corner, guys, I put up the data for his dash, and let me tell you what, 220 miles an hour here at Daytona is absolutely crazy, hitting 225, 26, almost 230 miles an hour getting into turn 3. Now we're going to get ready. We're going to throw about, I think about, what is it, 26 of these cars out on track all at once. I think we're about to see some absolute craziness go on here as Truth Oak finishes up his first lap and puts down a lap time of a 40.534. So through all of these drivers that have been out on track today, who are you going to watch the most here today?
Oh, that's a tough call. You got Mike McConey coming in, who usually races these races from a really smart, approachable standpoint. I think he knows the power in these cars, and to not push it too hard at the beginning, kind of see where everybody else is, their mindset, and let it play out. But I think it's going to come down to those final 10 laps where people are pushing it three wide, and those cars are tough to handle three wide, especially if you're trying to change lanes, even entering a turn. It's going to get real loose or tight on you. So I'm looking for Greg to definitely be up there in those final 10 laps and hopefully make a stand.
Yeah, definitely. I've jumped over here to Dakota LaRue in this number 3 car, not because of the Dale Earnhardt paint scheme, but it's because he was the fastest driver in practice. So he's looking to come out here from the broadcast booth, and he's planning on taking it downstairs and hopefully come out with a win here at Daytona. And it just so happens he is going back to Dale Earnhardt on this. So he says he's going to do his best out there and try to do us proud, but he hasn't had much luck or success in any sort of league racing as of late. So he's just out there to have a good time, but I think he has a good potential to win here at Daytona, especially if he has his friend and buddy Matt Metler behind him in that 311 machine. As you see Dakota, he will throw himself up on top of the leaderboard with a 40.266.
Yeah, great qualifying lap. And you know what? Daytona is the best track. One of the best tracks to just get started at because anything can happen at a super speedway.
Oh, I couldn't agree with you more. And normally here on Fridays, sorry, Matt, we got to go away from you, buddy. Um, Usually we're here doing our full send super speedway series, but we're off this week, and we decided, you know what? Let's do it anyway at 10 p.m. and just call it a fun race. And so here we are. No points are on the table, so that's going to change a lot of people's thought process and momentum coming here into this race, because this is just for fun. There is no points on the table. So, are we going to see much more aggressive driving than we normally see? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I think those first half of the race or so, I think these drivers are just going to get used to full pack racing with these cars because even in practice, At best, they're probably in a pack of 4, 6. I think if you get everybody in a pack like that, the amount of downforce that you're not getting on those mid to back cars, and they're trying to make those turns and change lanes before the turn, mid turn, it's going to be a wake up call, I think, for some of them. But at the end of the day, that's going to make a really good show, and I think these drivers will dial it in for the end, and we'll get some really good action pack racing.
Oh, I definitely agree with you, and we're still waiting to see if anybody can jump up here and catch up with Dakota LaRue as we take a look at Joe Bonner's paint scheme here on this Toyota Camry. A good throwback over to Denny Hamlin.
Yeah, some great throwbacks tonight. I'm sure there's some we haven't quite seen yet, but coming on for the car of tomorrow, to be legacy car from 2013. I think we're pushing, I want to say 750 horsepower on these bad boys.
Yeah, definitely absolute crazy driving here as he'll put down of a lap time of a 40.440. As of right now, I don't see anybody else out on track.
Yeah, it looks like Dakota found something. Wonder if he'll be able to use that to his advantage here to start the race.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely going to be very interesting to see as we get a good outside glimpse here of Daytona. And, with me being, I actually only live maybe like 20 minutes from Daytona. And I worked there as fan crew at one point. I actually got to witness them build what you guys are seeing right here on screen right now. And
I'm sure. I was gonna say, I'm sure that picture doesn't even do it justice as far as how big it is.
oh, it does not do it justice whatsoever. Because man, let me tell you what, the whole transformation. I know we're going way off topic here, but Stephen Luttrell's coming out on track. Let's go catch up with him. But the whole transformation from the old grandstands to what it is now is absolutely just crazy. And man, let me tell you what though, I really miss those backstretch grandstands.
Yeah, that's for sure. I gotta ask a question. Is there any bad seat in the house at Daytona?
No, no. Unless if you're for me personally, if you're down in the infield and you can't see the other side of the track, that is a little bit of a bummer. But I mean, the infield is just a total different environment, and there's nothing like walking up to the fence down in turns 1 and 2 and just watching these drivers fly by at 180 miles an hour is just absolutely crazy.
I think crazy might be the word to describe tonight. We'll see.
Yes.
But we are under the lights, beautiful night, and I think this is going to be some awesome racing.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm gonna have to try to find some photos to share with Racer Elite drivers and company over on Discord because man, I went there when they were doing their open tire test on the new next gen cars. Oh, hold on to it. Airborne goes Stephen Luttrell. A 40.540. Not able to get there, but man, talk about that car getting air.
Yeah, if that's foreshadowing for tonight, I think we're in for a show. But Stephen Luttrell is what you really want to keep an eye on, too. He has been a hot racer in all of the Racers Elite different series. He is finishing, seems like, winning at least 1 or 2 a week. So he's another one to keep an eye on.
Oh yeah, I mean, not. Come on, Brandon. I mean, don't sell yourself short. I mean, you've come close so many times, and you're
I put the effort, that's for sure. Sometimes I get a little lucky.
But I mean, you're bound to get a win this season. If it's not in the Tuesday trucks, probably here on Friday nights, for sure. Because I mean, like man, let me tell you how much I've seen you grow from when I started doing this last season on Tuesday nights to now. You've grown so much just as a truck driver. I'm absolutely impressed. I mean, you were good when I first started watching you, but man, let me tell you what, you were even better than before.
I appreciate it, but it really just speaks volumes to this league. It's a great league to get involved in, and all the drivers are respectable of each other, and I think that's what makes the biggest difference. I mean, the results prove themselves. We have so many races that are just green to checkered with no cautions.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting ready to line these cars up down on the uh, pit road here behind the iRacing.com pace truck. And let's go ahead and take a look at our starting lineup for tonight. It's going to be Grease Monkey Motorsports driver Dakota LaRue in that Goodwrench number 3 with Richie Joplin to his outside. Row number 2, Brett Bray and Matt Metler will be to his outside. In row number 3, you've got that number 57 of Aaron Roth. He will be joined by Joe Bonner in the number 11 machine. Row number 4. That was weird. Don't know why it automatically reset itself like that. I apologize, everybody. But let's go ahead and get caught back up over to row number 4 here. Alrighty, and now we're going to look at it on screen right here. Row number 4, you got that number 36 of Stephen Luttrell with Truth Hope in his number 55 machine to his outside. Row number 5, the 96 to Barry Nelson, and to his outside, Jack Kelly in that number 38 machine. The number 300 of Austin Sale will be on the inside of row number 6, and joining him is going to be Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 in that Tony Stewart throwback. Row number 7, Greg McConey in that number 12 machine. He'll be joined by Andrew Teft in that number 98. The 88 of Troy Thomas will be on the inside of row number 8, and joining him is going to be the 45 of Ryan Wart. Row number 9, Alan Carter in that number 37 machine. He'll be joined by a ghost of Brandon Sanfilippo. Row number 10, Kensley Smith in his Napa number 15 machine will be joined by the number 2 of Mike Fudge. Row number 11, Timothy Eisburn in that number 92 machine is going to be joined by Grizzly driver number 50, Terry Fennell. Row number 12, Steve Castle in his number 1 machine. He'll be joined by the 711 of Trevor Fettig. And row number 13, and our final driver on tap is going to be the number 91 of Blaine Klein in that beautiful white paint scheme car. So that's going to be our starting lineup here for today. And let me tell you what, I mean, we've been saying it since we've gone live. We are in for an absolute treat tonight, and I'm so excited for this green flag to drop.
Yeah, Mike, and I just counted. We have 11 cars that did not qualify. So that just tells you that, being a car with such power and such speeds, that there's a lot of guys that want to sit back and see how things are going to unfold before they dive in.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. And I know that normally, we only have maybe 1 or 2 drivers that might fall to the back here at the start. But my question now is going to be how many drivers are going to fall to the back on one of these restarts? Because honestly, I don't know if I want to be 6th through maybe 13th. I think if I was there, I would probably fall back to the back and see what happens.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. You might even see some guys in this front to mid pack just not feel comfortable with how the other drivers are around them, bouncing around, and then just drop back. That's sometimes common to see at the beginning of these big super speedway races.
Yeah, for sure. As you see, these drivers now head down the back straightaway. Oh, I'm sorry, it's coming out of turn 4 already. Holy crap, and we are getting ready to go green. Dakota LaRue, Richie Joplin will bring the field to the green flag here at Daytona as these drivers wind up these race cars for the very first time as they get ready to head up here into turn number 1. Richie Joplin out with his nose in front of LaRue, but LaRue's gonna fight back on that inside. But right now, Aaron Roth has nobody to his outside in that number 57 machine, so he's right now in a comfortable position. But here comes Matt Miller in that 311 machine, contending right there behind Richie Joplin on that outside lane.
Yeah, inside's looking a little bit more put together right now.
Oh, trouble already in the back. Kirby Wainscott in that 10 machine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cars and 1 car up in the air.
We're still spinning back there.
Yeah. Terry Fennell involved in this one. We got a couple drivers trying to make their way around here. Oh, hey, Blaine, put it down into second and then try to go. No.
Oh, that could be disaster. I'm telling you what, you get those tires heated up, and this is just what happens right here. It is hard to get that grip back.
There he goes. He's finally got it going again. And I believe it all started actually with Kirby Wainscott in that number 10 machine. So let's come back here. Yeah, he was just following him. He got loose while he was following the 15. And man, he just got clobbered by the 1 machine. And that is all she wrote for everybody else. That number 91 machine, Blaine Klein, getting thrown up into the air on the impact.
Now, if you're used to watching our next gen races, you know, you might be thinking, man, those cars did not stop. They just kept going. Well, you also have to keep in mind these cars are going another 35, 40 miles an hour, and it is that much harder to stop, especially in a turn when they're tight and loose. So I think these drivers were trying to stop. They just had nowhere to go, and they couldn't do it without wrecking themselves first.
Yeah, absolutely. And you see Blaine trying to slow down and just could not avoid anybody in front of him.
Yeah, that's a tough way to start the race. But these all drivers, they all start with a fast repair, completely repairs their car once they go in the pit. So I'm sure we have a lot of guys using that, guys getting towed and everything. So we'll get this sorted out and get ready to go. But that's a tough way to start your race. You know, if you're one of those drivers that has to use the fast repair, the only thing going through your head is, man, I can't believe I used it in the first lap. I still have 60 some odd laps to go. This is not good start. But it's just important to get out of that mindset and get back into racing, because you never know what could happen at a super speedway.
Very, very well said there. As you see drivers now heading out of the pits. As we have our final 5, 6 cars leaving the pits now, followed by Steve Castle in that number 1 machine. So we're doubled up, and we're going to go do it all over again as we are working lap number 3.
Got some cars here hustling to get back up to the pack here before the start, fixing up all their repairs. Looks like they're good to go.
Here they come. Pace car getting ready to come back in, and we are getting ready to go back green flag racing right here at Daytona International Speedway. Dakota LaRue, Aaron Roth will bring the field back to the green flag, and we are back underway here at Daytona. They're now trying to get themselves sorted out. Dakota LaRue this time, he's going to be a left to his all on his lonesome out front here. Oops, on camera. But here comes Richie Joplin in that 89, fighting back on the inside here. Dakota LaRue.
Yeah, LaRue's... Oh, off. Yes. Took that draft. I saw that coming a little bit. Nice job taking that outside lane to take that speed, and I bet he would want to cut down right here, but looks like the 89 got under him in a nice run too.
Yeah, for sure. And Dakota LaRue, you definitely want to be very careful of that, because, man, that was really, really close right there. And that's going to cost him about 4 or 5 spots here, possibly. But now he's got help again from behind. It looks like, who might that be? Aaron Roth in that 57 machine is behind him.
Yeah, this just showed us if you don't have the help in either lane, you are going to drop like an anchor in these cars.
238 miles an hour getting into turn number 3.
Oh,
That
Dakota, a little bit in the wall there, held him up, and you could see how much that holds you up too. Lose all that momentum there.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he'll be back.
So he went from 230 all the way down to 190. That right there is a 40 mile an hour difference. And let's jump back up here to our battle for the race lead. We've got, look at those cars just grinding out the bottom of this racetrack. Or grinding the bottom of their cars out on this racetrack is what I meant to say.
Yeah, bottom him out. Maybe they'll tire pressures will increase here when the heat gets into those tires, and we'll see some of that. But I'm sure we'll see sparks all night long there.
Oh yeah, here comes Joe Bonner in that 11 machine. He's taking over the race lead. 3 wide for a second for a split moment. As Kensley Smith and Jack Kelly get around. I'm sorry, was that Aaron Roth getting around the... I don't know.
It's like the 38 of Kelly there got loose on the front stretch, so that's something to keep an eye on as the race goes on. And that happened to me in practice too. It was easy to get loose going around that little bend at the front stretch, so could definitely prove a problem for some of these racers.
Oh yeah. Oh, careful. Good heads-up driving there by Austin Salem, that number 300 machine, as he led up from not getting into the back of Jack Kelly there. As we come back up here to the front of this field, Joe Bonner, he currently... Oh, we got one car upside down here on the back straightaway, and it's the 300 of Austin Salem.
We are on a helicopter run.
Hold on to it, Austin. Hold on to it.
It's amazing that car can drive.
Oh, yeah. Let's come back here and take a look, see what happened here through the tri-oval. Oh, he just lost it, just like you were talking about. And man, look at that car just lift up into the air.
Yeah, the flaps on these cars from 2013 just aren't as, I guess, tested as the ones we have nowadays. A lot easier to flip them, but man, you can just tell that power going through it. It looks like he clipped below the yellow line, or yeah, below the yellow line on the apron there, and that was just enough to upset the car.
Actually, he actually didn't get below it, I don't think. Did he? No, he just got loose. Right
maybe got loose before, yeah.
Yeah. You know, back in 2013, that was just about my 3rd year into iRacing. And back then, these cars didn't lift. So the whole lifting, you know, function of these cars is actually something relatively new when they brought out the 87 cars.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Now, I'm not saying we didn't get upside down.
Yeah,
because that's
the action was still there. We just weren't lifting.
Austin, hold on to it, buddy. As we come back live to Austin up here in turn 1 and 2, he almost lost it.
Someone better make sure Austin knows there's only one fast repair in this race. We don't want to get damage after that fast repair.
Oh yeah. Yeah, one thing I love doing is just looking at this 15 car just shine under the lights here.
Yeah, Kensley Smith always coming out in a really nice paint schemes, obviously designed by himself over at KS Designs.
Yep. I'm a better painter. No, I'm kidding. I can't even touch what he's done.
So this is telling. We already have almost all these lead lap cars coming in, and I'm sure we're going to see 4 tires.
Oh yeah. Cars coming down pit road. What's wrong with them? No, I'm kidding. Oh, some of them just coming down for fuel, it looks like.
Yeah, fuel. Looks like insides on some of them. You know, maybe they're thinking, we're already getting loose, you know, this many laps in. What's the point of fresh tires at this point? Just let them settle in.
Yeah. So, Dakota LaRue and Stephen Luttrell in the 3 and 36, they both stayed out.
Yeah, we're looking at about 23 laps per tank of fuel. So,
Yeah.
Sure, they're assuming that another caution, just the way things are going right now, is going to come out before they would have to come down pit road. So it's a gamble, but it also puts you out front and it puts you behind any chaos that may take place here.
Oh yeah. And I'm just wanting to point out this beautiful sky right here, ladies and gentlemen, because let me tell you what, here in Daytona, this is exactly the sky that you get to see. So beautiful out there as we're taking a look high above the track here.
Yeah, that's a gorgeous view. It looks even better with all those lights on the track lit up.
Oh, you have no idea. it's so beautiful. I'm just biased because I love this track.
I mean, how can you not? It's iconic. You know, you race twice a year there in the NASCAR series.
Oh yeah, for sure.
24-hour. I mean, there's just a lot going on at that super speedway.
All right, well, we're getting ready to go back green flag. Dakota LaRue, Stephen Luttrell will bring him back to the green flag and into the restart zone. Dakota LaRue, he'll get a really good jump here on the field as you see Stephen Luttrell kind of falling back a little bit here. As Aaron Roth in that 57 machine, he will overtake for that second spot. But here comes Luttrell now getting up to full speed. He does got that 311 of Matt Metler behind him. Steve Luttrell, he's got the number 11 of Joe Bonner behind him. So two really good guys following around. But here comes Kensley Smith up the inside going 3 wide.
Kensley says not too early to go 3 wide for me. He wants those positions. I think he wants to get in front of any wreck that might potentially happen here.
Yeah, but that's just classic Kensley for you, though. I mean, he's, you know, we say it every Friday night whenever we come to, you know, these kind of races. Watch for Kensley Smith, because let me tell you what, he knows how to get the job done at these super speedways. And just once again, he's just proven it right here. I mean, he's already up 14 spots since we've gone green 12 laps to go as we're working lap number 13. So pretty much 1 spot a lap. He's doing pretty good.
Yeah, he's a smart racer, and a lot of these racers, elite drivers are. I think they just adjust really well. You know, typically I think you'd see Kensley still in the back in a race like this, but he knows how unsteady these cars are, and he doesn't want to be involved in any wreck. So he definitely pushed himself up there for a reason early in this race.
Oh, the 11 Joe Bonner, hold on to it.
We had an accordion there. I think Truth Hope got a little loose up there, slowed everybody down, and there we go. Another helicopter ride for the 11.
And he's got pure mayhem in front of him. The 7-Eleven machine's involved in this one. Kirby Wainscott's involved. Aaron Roth. Just... I don't know.
You could see pretty much every caution, not majority of them, are happening on these turns or that little bend in the front stretch. So it's just getting these cars really, really loose, and they're getting out of line, and then just it unfolds like dominoes.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I don't know if he really tried to get onto the brakes pretty heavy there before getting back to the track, because as you saw, as he was coming up to the track, he was able to lock him up, but he didn't lock him up at all while in the grass. So I'm not gonna really try to point fingers here.
Yeah, no, that's tough to say. And like we said earlier, it is just so hard when you see a wreck to try to, 1, correct it and save it because of the speed of these cars, but 2, try to stop in time and turn and avoid it.
Yeah.
It's almost impossible.
Oh, I just realized that Austin Sailing, that 300 machine, was involved. It's right on board with him. Oh, nowhere to go.
Yeah, that came out of nowhere. Those are the worst, man. You're just driving, and next thing you know, there's just a missile coming out of your left or right view and just takes you out like that. That's tough.
Yeah, for sure. And the ones that I hate the most is when I'm sitting there minding my own business, and the next thing I know, I'm facing the outside wall. Like, I have no clue what the heck is going on. I'm just sitting here minding my business. Oh, shit.
Yeah, that's bound to happen if you do enough races, especially when you come to a Daytona and a car of tomorrow with this amount of power.
Oh yeah. I mean, these cars are so fun.
Yeah, I mean, there's one thing that this race definitely is not, and that is boring. We have had a lot of action so far, and we're only about what 14 laps into this race.
Yeah, something like that.
So we haven't even hit the 3 wide mark yet. Just wait till that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think a lot of these drivers, especially after they use their fast repair, you're going to start to see them maybe let off more in the turns, let off on the straight, just to keep some more control in the car. Because now after you use your fast repair, you get damaged again, you're probably out of the race. So it's better for them to lay low, lay in the back, keep control of that car, and be there for the end of the race. So might see some adjustment as far as aggression goes and speed and how these drivers approach these turns and straights.
Yeah, definitely gonna be very interesting to see how it all will play out at the end of this race. And I mean, like I said, like you said earlier, we're only going what is it, 67 laps today, something like that. 63.
Let's say it's 63. Yep.
Take a look here at that number 55 machine, True Coke for Misfits. Pace truck is off, and we're going to get back green flag racing. Oh, I got a big checkup in the back. A couple cars trying to take evasive action.
Yeah, looks like we got a caution right off the bat just to get that squared away here. Looks like an old case of spinning the tires on the start.
Yeah, good call there by race officials. But Blaine Klein in that number 91 sideways. But I mean, that was like a big checkup though. So I mean, you can't really just take a look here. Right in that middle of the pack right there, you see them all starting to whip every which way, and caution comes out, and you just give it too much throttle and it just goes sideways on you. Damage is off. Oh.
Damage is off. Well, that's good to know. I guess we don't have to worry about fast repairs. Good call by Andrew on doing that. Keeps a lot of people in the race.
Oh yeah, I mean, again, it is a fun race, We're out here.
Yeah, it's a non-point race. No point in parking it for the night after one wreck. So keep these guys out there, get them used to this car, and have some fun.
Oh yeah. And that information coming from the number 11 of Joe Bonner. Thank you for letting us know about that. Stephen Luttrell fan club in the house. Hey Will, how you doing, buddy? Joe Bonner was earlier. He said tonight should be fun. Let's get it from Richie Joplin. Happy birthday, by the way, Richie. Before I forget. And Matt Miller says, so glad somebody finally had the lug nuts to do this race at this level.
Yeah, that's for sure. Looks like we have couple cars coming down pit road.
Yep. And I want to touch up I want to touch up on that comment of, at this level. I was going through our general discussion here in the Racers League a couple days ago, and somebody says, they go run another league, and, they're out there dominating, and, this, that, the other, and then when they come here, they struggle so hard because just of how competitive all the drivers are here in Racers Elite.
Yeah, it's competitive and like I said, respectable. So, we have multiple races that go without a single caution and that speaks for itself. And like you said, it's competitive. I know the Thursday Gen 4 series, we're 5 races in, 5 different winners. So I mean it's every race is up for grabs. You could never pin it who's gonna win it. So just really fun, really competitive, really respectable, and that's why this league has been around for so long.
Exactly, and every race, we're always talking about, the same old. We do talk about you, Brandon. We talk about Andrew and Alex. Um, we talk about Stephen Luttrell in the 36 machine. You know, but then, as the race progresses, we'll get names, just random names out there like, Iceberg. He'll come up and, be a force, early on in a run. And so it's like, or late in the run. It is just so mind boggling on how competitive this is. And anybody really has a big shot to win. But we're going to back green flag here at Daytona on lap number 19 of 64, it looks like. So we're actually going to go 64 laps here today. And Richie Joplin, he'll get a good run. As we see Alan Carter getting a run on the inside of Kensley Smith at number 15. As Dakota LaRue, he's trying to make his way back towards the front after that early mess up. But as of right now, Matt Metler, he's going to leave his friend out to dry on the outside.
Yeah, it looks like a lot of these drivers are trying to stay on an inside lane just to, I think, avoid any wrecks that might shoot up the track first. So it's a little bit safer route right now as these drivers start to settle back in.
Yeah, definitely. And something that these drivers are going to have to start doing is, be mindful of getting into the corners. You have to lift. As you see Barry Nelson in that 96 machine get up into the wall there on the entry. You got to lift in these cars. And you're only lifting for maybe like a second to a second and a half, and then you're right back in the throttle. So you kind of gotta have to drive it similar to the 87 Cup cars, because, if you drive it too hard, you're going to hit the wall.
Yeah, it definitely takes throttle control, which is a big difference compared to those next gens at this super speedway. It looks like we have Kensley Smith going to the inside of the 89, looking to take that first spot away.
Kensley Smith will clear Richie Joplin in that 89 machine, and Alan Carter thought about sticking his nose there on the inside, but he decided not to, as they will now fly down the back straightaway. And the 89 of Joplin, he's looking possibly to go back to the outside. No, he goes ahead and he'll bring it back down behind. And now that 37 of Carter, he's looking to the outside, as Jack Kelly and Dakota LaRue are starting to gain behind them as well.
Yeah, the inside lane has momentum. Looks like 36 got out there and he's dropping like an anchor. So definitely still learning a little bit how these cars work. But I think once we get farther in the race, you'll see more guys take that outside lane.
Yeah, for sure.
Coming up on lap 22. Got about 44 to go for a total of 64 laps tonight. So, with a fuel tank of 23 laps, if for some chance we did go green the rest of the race, they could do it in one more stop. But obviously, cautions are going to change that approach.
Sorry.
Got a little action back there.
Yeah, the 37 got into the left rear of the 11, but he was able to back off just in time, as we have a couple cars here bouncing off the wall here in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, getting a little tight mid-turn there just drives you up into the wall, then you hit the wall and then get a little loose. That is a tough car to handle once that starts happening.
Yeah, for sure. As we're taking a look here, the 38 of Jack Kelly, he's up into the wall, and he'll fall back from 3rd to 5th. And now we've got Troy Thomas in the 88 machine. He's starting to come up on these guys.
Now, yeah, Joplin Joplin at 89, I noticed, is not pushing it. You know, when he comes up behind Kensley, instead of trying to pop up and make that pass, he's not. He's settling behind. Looks like we got a caution.
Oh,
And we got a big wreck.
Big trouble here in the back. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and they're still crashing. Slow down, guys. Whee! We got a big old pile up here.
Yeah, we got a demolition derby there.
The 10, the 92, the 11, they are all down here faced the wrong way. The 57 of Aaron Roth once again involved in this one. And well, let's go back and see if we can try to determine what the heck just happened. So the 50 got into the wall, came down into Aaron Roth. The 11 of Joe Bonner had absolutely nowhere to go. And so that's just going to turn him and the 11 across the field. Matt Metler involved in this one. 37 nowhere to go. The 10 barely got clipped and not able to make it through here.
Yeah, just a classic accordion case here.
Yeah, for sure. And just these guys coming in at full speed, you know, arc breaking it.
Yeah, but I can't express to viewers at home how difficult it is sometimes when you're in a pack like that and your downforce is taken away from a car in front of you not to hit the wall with these cars. I was out there for about 10 minutes in practice, and I did that twice, and one of the 2 other guys I was in a pack with did it as well. It is just, it's easy to have too much speed going into those turns and not enough downforce, and it just pushes your car right up into that wall, and good luck.
Oh yeah, for sure. You know, and I also want to point out, you know, my whole arc brake comment here. These cars, you know, because of how fast they are going, they really don't have really good brakes at all. So I could probably guarantee you those guys in the back, they were sitting there with their brakes on, and it's just hard to stop these cars that going, you know, 220 miles an hour.
Oh, for sure. But if you are the receiving car, it doesn't make it feel any better just because they're heavy if you get smoked like that. But with the damage off, usually drivers aren't too heated for getting hit like that.
Yeah, for sure. Up to 2 off the track. Coming down pit road. Almost, I think he thought he missed his pit stop. Alright, here they come back out onto the racetrack. So once again, Dakota LaRue, he's going to stay out in that number 3 machine and take over that top spot. You know, I'm wondering if he's thinking, you know, my tires are nice and warm at the moment. And so
yeah, I don't know if anybody really wants to make changes if it's going well right now. You just never know with these cars. You know, no one's had a really long run in them. No one's really worn their tires down. Maybe they're seeing some readings in the pits where their tires seem okay. So.
Right. Alrighty, just like that, we're going back green flag racing here at Daytona as they climb up through the bakings of turns 1 and 2. Dakota LaRue, Stephen Luttrell will bring the field back to the green flag.
Yeah, Dakota making himself back up there in first place. He's definitely found something tonight.
Yeah, for sure.
Good control over that car.
You know, I actually met Dakota when I first started broadcasting in the first league I was broadcasting for, and the opening race was Daytona in the ARCA series, I think. Oh, 1 car up in the wall. Stephen Luttrell in that 36 machine hit the gas.
We got a little more chaos go down. Ooh, we're coming back up the track, and that's never a good result.
Watch out! Ugh.
You know, it reminds me of bumper cars a little bit.
Just a wee bit.
Yeah. You can hit them as hard as you want, and you're still going to keep going.
right? So first, starting off with the
You're gonna do it with a
36.
smile.
Yeah, 36 first, he got up into the wall, and then just Jack Kelly and Kedley Smith, he got, somebody got blinking there. Somebody just disappeared there, and I'm not sure who it was.
Yeah, I did catch that.
Right back up across the track. Very interesting. Nope, wrong
Coming
part.
up on pits here. To be interesting if anybody wants to pit at this time for fuel, tires or not.
There we go, we are back live. Yeah, definitely be very interesting to see how all this will go.
So when we go green, we'll be in about lap 30 of 64. So be about 34 laps to go. And it looks like our leaders are going to stay out. They're going to have to pit one more time anyways at this point.
Yeah. Alright, so the lights are still on. So we know we're at least going to go 2 more laps. So yeah, so we will go back green with 34 laps to go. Matt Mettler's made his way up into the 2nd spot.
Yeah, he's had a good run tonight, slowly moving up. Been involved in a couple wrecks, but nothing to put himself in the back of the pack, so.
Yeah, that is true. Oh, lights are off, so they're going to go back green flag this time, actually.
A few of our racers or regulars have moved up as well. You got Troy Thomas in the 88 and 5th spot right now. You got Terry Fennell in 7th, moving on up as well. It's Steve Castle and Truth Hope to round out your top 10 drivers of Racers Elite.
Heck yeah. And if you guys do like what you see here on YouTube, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell if it's still down there. Let us know, or let you know when we go live, which pretty much at this point, ladies and gentlemen, it's almost every single night. If you want to watch the race in action, always. Racer Elite's always got something going on. And you guys can follow along at home at racerselite.com, see when all of our live events are. Join our Discord if you want to get involved, and check out our new apparel to help support Racers Elite. But Dakota LaRue, Matt Miller is going to bring the field back to the green flag. And your green flag racing once again. And we're looking to possibly try to go 3 wide with Austin Sale. But that backfired him as he got into the outside wall. Now he's going to fall back.
Yeah, that top line just disintegrated real quick. Matt Mettler was able to squeeze down there in that bottom lane, save himself a position there.
Richie Joplin right there on the back bumper of Dakota LaRue, now possibly trying to make a run on the outside, but no, he's going to stay right there behind as they climb into the baking here in 3 and 4. Just continue to watch those sparks coming off the bottom of those race cars.
Yeah, so much speed, so much power in those cars. It's just awesome to watch these things go around.
Yeah, for sure. As we continue to watch these guys run single file, let's drop back here to Ryan Warp at that 45. He's been working the outside of that 311 machine. He will clear him as they will now come down the back straightaway, double foul behind Ryan Warp in that number 45 machine. Matt Mettler, he's fallen all the way back to that fifth spot, and now we are 3 wide up here in turns 3 and 4.
Yeah, let's see if they can hold it coming out.
Nope, there they go.
And
Oh, one car upside down. I think that's the 92 of, yeah, that was the 92, and they're still wrecking here in the front stretch.
yeah, just some more chaos ensuing just from a typical, just a standard getting loose, and then just everybody else from behind it
Oh,
falling
yeah.
into that. And we still have a car upside. Ooh, looks like Stephen the Trail giving his, there we go. Very selfless act, Stephen. Knocking him over so he doesn't have to tow, saving himself from going a lap or two down.
Yes,
That deserves a pat on the back.
absolutely. And I mean, we're just having out here having a good time, guys. You know, but we're not, luckily, we're not racing for points.
Yeah, like you said, it's not a point race. I mean, you're not going to see that probably at a points life. Steven wouldn't want to damage his car, but
Right.
these drivers are out having a fun time, enjoying themselves. But don't be fooled. When it comes down to about 10 laps to go, I don't think you're going to see that nice camaraderie on the track. Respectable, but they're going to be for themselves at that point.
Oh, yeah. So first we're going to watch the 92 machine come out of the turn. Oh, that was a 57 actually getting upside down there.
Yeah, the Nebraska car getting upside down and then turning it right side up and keeping himself going there.
Yeah, let's come back here and watch and see what happened to that 17. Thought he made it, and then he just gets turned, and then it just lifted right up into the air. Right up against the wall. Who is that? Brad Kozlowski style in the Xfinity?
Yeah. You can't park there, sir.
Yeah, definitely upside down, too. And then just that little love tap from Steven Luttrell.
Looks like all the leaders came down pit road to get a little more fuel. Some of them are taking tires, some are not.
Yeah. Which of that 3 machines, glad he came down to get tires, I'm sure. Yeah. We got Ryan Warp and Trevor Fettig still down here on pit road.
Yeah, so we'll be just short on fuel. So since we're at about 23 laps of fuel, they'll have about 29 green flag laps if everything goes without a caution. So obviously, I think some of these drivers are expecting a caution at some point to come down, so it won't be green flag stop. But either way, it's a good time to get some fuel. They're probably running dry anyways.
Oh, yeah. But we're going to go drop the green flag here once again at Daytona. But this time, the 37 of Alan Carter, he's going to be on the front row on the inside. And he's going to be joined by that 36 machine of Steven Luttrell, Jack Kelly, and Kensley Smith make up your top 4. All right. Oh, wait. Why are we checking? Oh, that was a big checkup. Lights are back on. Somebody didn't like something.
Yeah, I think you have some cars in the back too that haven't caught up yet. So sometimes in that case, race control will just add one more lap so those cars aren't just racing to that tail end and then running into cars.
Okay.
So no harm, no foul, just one extra caution lap.
What was that?
Give the drivers one more lap to dry out those sweaty palms and get ready for a long, hopefully a long run here.
The speakers disappeared on me. Okay. I was like, something there's, then something's not there. What the?
Well, it looks like Steven's out front, and he was the good Samaritan there, helping that one car turn over. So I wonder if he didn't pit or he stayed out. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah, he stayed out along with Alan Carter, Kensley Smith, Jack Kelly, and Kirby Wainscott, and everybody else came down, um, except for Blaine Klein back in that number 91 in the 17th spot.
Yeah, those drivers that stayed out, they have some laps since their last pit, but a lot of them have been cautioned. Obviously, you're burning a fraction of the fuel on a caution lap than you are at a full speed lap. So they have enough fuel. They're taking the gamble that, hey, another caution's going to come out before I run out of fuel. I can go down and refuel up then. So we'll see if that pays off.
Oh yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to go back green flag here, and we're going to have 30 laps to go here at Daytona. Alan Carter, Steven Luttrell will bring the field back to the green flag into the United Rental restart zone, and we are green flag racing once again here at Daytona International Speedway. As we see these cars now getting back up to full speed, the 15 already around, and the 38s.
Yeah, and I don't know if we're going to get a caution since that's off of the main racing
Yep.
surface, not going to impact the race. So we are still green.
Yep, so what happened there was on the restart. Not going to get it here. It looks like Kensley Smith, he got into...
Kensley got into the wall.
Yeah.
Yeah, bounced down. Just took out the 38. That's too bad. Too unfortunate, but I'm sure they'll get back. All it takes is one caution, and they're back in the lead pack here.
Oh, yeah, for sure. And right now, Steve Luttrell trying to make it work around that outside lane. And here comes Dakota LaRue and that number 3 machine. He was going to stay up high with Luttrell, but he decided to go ahead and bring him back down, as he's going to contend for that 3rd spot here on the back straightaway. As you see these cars rocket out of turn number 2 and back to...
Yeah, you have a few cars coming up in the top 10 that haven't been up here yet. Kirby Wainscott started that first wreck of the race and went to the back. He's already back up to 5th, and you had Cody, who was just near the back in 9th too, so creeping up.
Yeah, definitely got some really good, still strong drivers out here that you can't look away from at all. So watch those couple drivers. By the end of this thing, they could very well be contending for the race lead. And so about contending for the race lead, Dakota LaRue up to that 3rd spot on the outside. He's getting a drafting help from that 36 Luttrell, as he is now side by side here with Richie Joplin for that 2nd spot.
Yeah, that 89 Joplin, and that is one car I think we need to keep our eye on, because he has been running about 2nd, not pushing it to take that lead, and he has shown a lot of control in that car. If you notice when he takes those turns, he's not sliding up, he's keeping it real steady. So I think that's a skill that's going to come into play in these last 10 laps or so when we get close to the checkered flag. And ooh, a little bit loose there.
Yeah, definitely. And, it's definitely a skill to drive these race cars. And, again, back in 2013, when these cars were around, they weren't going 200 and something miles an hour. They actually had restrictor plates on them. So we were running, about 202, 203. But whenever we moved to the Gen... Oh, LaRue sideways in the middle of the track.
Yeah, another victim of that wall. That wall is taking people out just like the lady in black at Darlington.
Oh, yeah. Not many cars were involved in this one. Only showing about 4 cars. Blaine Klein, Greg McConey got involved in this. Let's go back here. And did Aaron Roth survive this one?
Yeah, and back to that restrictor plate comment you made.
Yeah.
We are, about 40 laps into this race?
Yeah.
38. you can see why they put restrictor plates on those cars.
Oh yeah, easy.
As entertaining it would be for the fan at home, that would be a costly race. But nevertheless, it is fun to do it in iRacing in Racers Elite single events.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, absolutely, for sure on this one. And come back here to Blaine Klein in that number 91. Take a ride on board. Let's see what he saw. He was slowing down, but just couldn't get slowed down enough.
Yeah, he was on those brakes, and when you're in that turn, I mean, you slam on the brakes, you're going to wreck anyway, so you only can slow down so fast.
Exactly.
Yeah, the brake bias on these cars, standard. I mean, the drivers can adjust them too, is they're coming in at 66%, so I doubt many drivers adjusted that since it's Daytona, really not using your brakes, so that means 66% of the brake that they're using is to their front axle. So, you know, with that rear axle brake in there too, it's going to make it a little bit harder to slow down as well.
Oh yeah. And as we have our leaders coming back down pit road here once again, top off on fuel. I mean, we were told about 23 and a half laps, so we're going to go back green flag with probably 23.
Yeah, you're going to see about every car come down this lap. It makes sense because with the caution laps, I mean, you're in the window of making the race where you don't have to pit again. So for a lot of these cars, I think this will be the last time down.
Yeah. But Joe Bonner, he's staying out here on 8-lap older tires than everybody else. I don't think he can make it the rest of the way, but we're about to find out.
No, he can't, but it's another gamble because if there's enough cautions that come out, you know, if you're judging by what the race has been so far, he's going to save enough fuel if there's a certain number of caution laps. So that could keep him up front and avoiding wrecks as well, and then maybe be up front for the end of the race. So just another strategy that we'll see if that plays out.
Yeah, that is very true. I didn't think about that.
The one thing you never know, cautions can really change up a race and strategy. I mean, it could take somebody who is, you know, expecting to get near dead last to the front in just a blink of an eye. And a lot of that has to play with fuel. You never know with your fuel.
Yep. All right, the lights are off. We're going to go green flag this time. Joe Bonner, Richie Joplin in the 11 and 89 respectively are going to bring the field back to the green flag here at Daytona. Pace truck is off. And we are green flag racing once again here at Daytona. Joe Bonner out to a real quick lead. The 89 Richie Joplin got clear for a moment of Truth Hoke. He will go ahead and try to slide down, but yeah, okay, so Truth Hoke lifted to allow him to get back down. So that was real smart driving there by Truth Hoke in that number 55 machine as they make their way down the back straightaway here with 23 laps to go. Matt Mettler working that outside lane, trying to make his way back up towards the front. And he's got help from that 36 of Stephen Luttrell.
Yeah, you're going to see more guys pushing that outside lane now to see how much they can really take, how much speed they can handle before it gets to the end of the race, because they'd rather hit the wall now and slow up rather than the last 5 laps. So I think you're going to see some more action up by that wall in those turns.
Yeah, for sure. As we see that number 88 of Troy Thomas, he's working on the inside now with Matt Mettler for that 5th spot. Alan Carter in that 37, he's got Matt Mettler clear, and he's going to go up in front of Matt. And he's going to look into contend for that 3rd spot as he gets around the outside of Truth Hope now. 230 miles an hour.
Yeah, if Mettler and Luttrell can catch up to that 37, I think we're going to have a good run on that outside. He's got a good chance to carry some speed coming out of turn 2 and 4 here. Just a matter of time before somebody catches up to him and helps him in the outside lane.
Oh yeah, for sure. And we're taking a look here at Miller once again. 230 heading into turn number 1. Steve Luttrell in that 36 machine. He's up against that outside wall. A couple drivers back here make contact. The 711 of Trevor Fetzig. I believe he got into the side of Bray in that number 17 machine. Back out front, your race leader sideways.
89 finally coming out, seeing an opportunity and taking it. And taking that race lead. And we got sub cars going through the infield here.
I could have. Oh, I think that was actually the 50 of Terry Fennell. That was a crazy catch. Let's go back, take a look here as you know your race leader. He bobbled, and that just checked everybody up. And the 50 got hit from behind by the 57, and just look at that car control through the
great
infield.
Job controlling that car.
Yeah, that could have been a lot worse than what it was.
Yeah, you're going from different medians, from asphalt to grass to asphalt at 220 miles an hour. That's a commendament in itself right there.
Yeah, absolutely. As we do see our top 3 now, Richie Joplin, Truth Hoke, Alan Carter. Joe Bonner had some sort of issue. He's down back in the pits.
Yep, and we are just under 20 laps to go. So I think this is where we start to see sub cars really position themselves so that they're not going to be trapped on the inside or somewhere that they're not going to be able to make a move at the end.
Yeah, as we catching up here with Dakota LaRue in that number 3 machine. He started back right about that 17th through 20th. I'm not exactly sure. I forgot to double check, but already he's up to 6th here as we have 18 laps to go. So don't blink, because here comes LaRue coming back after that, getting sideways and causing just a caution not even 10 laps ago. So. But we've got a battle now here for a race lead between Richie Joplin and Truth Hoke. Hoke looking to the outside. The 96 sliding up towards Eric Carter. So that's Barry Nelson in the 96. Where the heck did he come from?
Yeah, Barry Nelson coming on up in 4th spot right now. You can tell that outside lane is really starting to form, because is it more risky because you're closer to the wall? Yes, but you also carry a lot more speed being in the outside lane, and these cars want to move up, and they want to move up fast.
Right. And right now, we're just seeing all these cars struggle, you know, on that top side. They keep going up and bouncing off that outside wall. So they've got to really get their cars under control heading up here into the bankings. Because just like that, with Truth Hoke, once again, getting into that outside wall, he's going to drop from 2nd or 3rd back to 5th. As he makes contact with the 37, and he's upside down.
Yeah, that was too unfortunate. 37 just, and Truth Hope coming down a little bit. I think 37 coming up, and just enough to clip each other and turn around.
Yep. And I saw one other driver involved here as well. Was it? Oh, was that Kirby? No. Who was it? It was a black.
Who that was?
It was a black car. I know that. Was it Matt Miller? Greg McConey in that number 12.
Greg McConey, maybe?
Yeah. So, let's take a look here at Greg. He barely...
Just clipped him,
yeah. Look at that car try and think about lifting.
Yeah.
You just watch that whole suspension just lift. But
yeah.
One driver that wasn't so lucky is that number 37 of Alan Carter. And
yeah, that's unfortunate for him. He was running up front and running really well. Just a tough break for him. But there's still a lot of racing left, and we see these drivers go from the back and the front in less than 10 laps. So his race is definitely not over.
Oh yeah. Just take
what a view.
look. Mwah. Gives Poke a little tiny upside down kiss right there.
Yep, got a nice view of his interior. And caught up to him again.
Yeah. And we'll take a look at it one last time. Oh, what's wrong?
We should be giving scores out of 10 on these cars that go upside down and spin.
Oh yeah,
but
for sure.
that'd be a good competition. I mean, these cars are spinning more than Olympic figure skaters.
Yeah, right. Honestly, I think the 37 is the only one that actually made a full rotation upside down. He actually did a full rotation and a quarter.
Yeah, impressive. And then you got the cars that go upside down and turn right side up and then just keep going like nothing happened.
It's fascinating. It's like
It's like they've done it before.
Right. Dale Earnhardt. Just put tape on the trunk. That's all. That's all we need.
Yeah, a little duct tape and get back out there and get going.
Greg McConey and that number 12 boiler maker's machine out of Wilbraham, Massachusetts.
Yeah, I've seen a couple college-themed cars tonight. Obviously, probably inspired by March Madness going on right now. You have Purdue, I think, as a 2 seed. I saw a Nebraska car up there, too, and I know that's a higher seed team.
I don't keep up with college, though you're probably better knowledgeable at that than I am.
I keep up around this time of year with basketball, March Madness. Everybody puts their bracket together. You got to see how long it can last. So, but looks like we're going green here. It's like the 91. Get a little loose. See if he can hold it. He's going to go in the grass. I don't think a caution's going to come out. And, oh, now the 45 off of Luttrell. 31 spinning, 38. And I think we're going to get a caution.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah, Truth Oak was involved in this one. He's right on board here, and he's trying to back down, just nowhere to go.
Yep. And that's a good example of slamming on the brakes and just how much those cars don't want to slow down.
Yep. Right forward. Yeah, looks like just another the 45 Ryan Warp just got up into that outside wall. And the 311, he had nowhere to go. Jack Kelly. Using that 38 machine. He also had nowhere to go. He almost made it through. So again, only about 5, maybe 6 cars involved in this one, so not too terrible, not too terrible.
No. And I was just thinking, if we had damage on tonight, I think we'd be down to about 6 or 7 cars left on this track.
Easy.
Closest thing to a demolition derby that iRacing would have.
Hey, you know what? That figure 8 track over at Irwinsdale is fun as heck.
Oh yeah, there's a figure 8 track that Andrew runs. Is that the one you're talking about?
I think so.
Yeah, and iRacing, every once in a while there'll be a figure 8 track or a figure 8 race that Andrew will host, and it is just so much fun. It looks a lot like this, to be honest with you. It's just a figure 8 out an oval.
Yeah, I mean, right now we do have 2 tracks, that does host figure 8 racing, which is Irwindale and Slinger.
Slinger is the one Andrew usually runs, yep,
yeah.
For Racers Elite.
Yep, that one has a much bigger, taller banking than Irwindale. But it's also quite smaller, so the front of the pack usually gets to the rear pretty much a lot quicker over at Slinger, so
Yeah, a lot more action.
Yeah. You know, with how popular things are going right now with McFarlane over in the Xfinity series, he's got to sign on now over with it with them. I wonder how long it'll be before they bring the Freedom Factory track, formerly known as DeSoto Speedway, to iRacing.
Right? Yeah, that's true.
I mean, why would you not want that track? You got Cletus, very popular. Everybody loves Cletus. Why not get the track that he owns and it does many different sorts of racing?
Yeah, I would assume in the future it would be there. It probably just comes down to money and everything.
Yeah,
And as you know, when they do a track in iRacing, it's not like a arcade style video game where they just sit on the computer and design the track. They actually have a laser system that laser scans the entire track for every single bump, every single crack,
yeah,
every single detail to make it as realistic as possible. So, it's not just a press of a button either. It's definitely something they have to plan and prep for.
yeah, definitely. And if you guys definitely like iRacing, want to get involved and can't afford, the whole setup here for the computer, just head over to Steam currently, and with your controller, you can get the iRacing arcade game currently now available. But we are back green flag here at Daytona. Kesley Smith, Richie Joplin, they will bring up to the green flag as these drivers get back up to speed as they fire down into turn number one. Kesley Smith, he will take complete control of this race for the moment, but we all know that Joplin and LaRue both have been chopping away real quick at getting back up here to the front as we see these drivers now run single file down the back straightaway. LaRue, he's possibly looking to the outside. Nope.
Yeah, they're starting to get a little antsy, and that's understandable.
Yeah.
We're on lap 53 of 64 now, so about 11 laps to go.
Yep. 10
These
laps
guys
to
are
go this time.
they're not going to wait too much longer.
No.
But at the same time, they're going to have to wait till some cars get up there for them maybe to get some runs going. Looks like we're through the infield there, but we're still green, not slow enough to pull out a caution.
Well, let's take a look here. It looks like the Blaine Klein and Greg McConey had issues here. Oh, McConey upside down.
Let's see. Oh, curious if he landed that. He did land it.
He did.
That's a 9 at least.
Yeah, he went over. I don't know if it was a full time though. Let's take a look here. Up in the air. No, he never fully went over.
Never fully over.
Nope.
I can tell you, the front of the pack is a little bit calm right now. Just 4 wide, single file on the bottom there, just keeping it nice and steady. They have pulled away. That backpack is thinking, a lot of those drivers, hey, we got to organize, we got to get single file to get up and catch these guys just in case it stays green.
Yeah, for sure. So let's right on board here with Barry Nelson as he looks on to Smith, Joplin, and LaRue directly in front of him. Barry Nelson.
Barry having a strong night tonight, still running fourth.
Yes.
Taking those turns pretty smooth. It doesn't look like that arrow in front of him is taking too much downforce away, making him tight. So these drivers have definitely settled in. I think we have some more throttle control under these cars as we did when we first started this race.
Yeah, for sure. As we jump back here to Steve Castle in that number 1 machine, he's starting to make some noise up here in the top 5-ish as he's trying to get around Troy Thomas, but got loose on out of turn 4.
It looks like Charles Joplin, the car to keep an eye on, he has made the pass on Kensley on the outside. Kensley dipped down in before too much damage was done. Hold on to second place, but we are still single wide with that front 4.
Yeah, as you see, they are definitely dancing now all over the track. As you see that 96 get underneath LaRue, and now LaRue, he's working on the outside of Kensley Smith for that second spot. Dakota LaRue, he's not done yet in that number 3 machine.
No, he's definitely wants to move up. Some of these drivers are getting real anxious, and that's understandable. Pensley, I think, is going to try to take some draft with him. Try to get to that outside. Or he's going to have a run. It just depends on what he wants to do with it. Looks like LaRue's going to make it 3
He's
wide.
He's going to make it 3 wide, yeah. There's a
Pensley
reason.
Says, no, thank you. I'm backing out.
There is a reason why I call him the master of chaos, because he will do what it takes to try to overtake for positions.
Yeah, it looks like, unfortunately, he got eaten up by that wall. That wall is like a magnet. Once you get hooked on it, it's very hard to get your car off of it.
Yeah, 5 laps to go now here at Daytona. And right now, Richie Joplin, Barry Nelson, Kensley Smith is your top 3. And they now got Troy Thomas, Steve Castle behind him, Timothy Eisberg coming up behind him. And then there's a big separation. Whoa, be careful! Timothy Eisberg sideways. He's going to pull down off the track. Bad idea.
He's going to have to slow down, though, if he's going to pull off. And he is going to bring up the caution.
And he was saying, don't worry, guys.
Speeds to pull off. At that point, you know, it's probably worth it just to stay on the track and slow down a little bit on the inside, because it is a tough car to handle when you pull off.
Yeah, especially at the speeds that we are going here at Daytona in these cars. You know, that was a better decision to stay on the track, slow down, versus going down than, you know, try to come back up in the middle of the turn. It doesn't work out very well.
Yeah, and he was running well. I'm sure he's not too happy with that, but, you know, it happens.
Yeah.
But you never know. He could come right back up in just a matter of a couple laps. All it takes is a few more wrecks in front of him for him to get by scotch-free, and he's back in the top 5 or 10. If we learned anything tonight at a race like this, is anything can happen in about a lap and a half.
Out of turn number 2, we're going to see if the lights on this pay truck is going to go off this time, and we're going to see about lining them up. And there it is right there. We are going to go back green flag, and we're going to have a green-white-checkered. This one, this caution is probably going to benefit Dakota LaRue the most, as he's back in that 5th spot now. But it's going to come down to Richie Joplin, Barry Nelson, Troy Thomas, Steve Castle, Dakota LaRue, Jack Kelly. And don't look now, but here comes Andrew Tefton, that number 98 machine. He's starting to make himself known in the top 10. Matt Miller, Kirby Wainscott, Kensley Smith will be your top 10.
Yeah, bringing all these cars bunched together for a couple laps of green flag racing. I think we're going to see some 3 wide, and it's going to stay 3 wide.
Oh, yeah. Alrighty, ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Pace truck getting ready to pull off. Richie Joplin, Barry Nelson will bring the field back to the green flag. And we are green flag, hopefully for the final time here at Daytona. Joplin gets off to a really good start as we have trouble behind him.
Yeah, a lot of cars were spinning and getting loose there on takeoff, including our leader, Joplin.
Yeah, Dakota were involved in this one as well. And that's going to set us all back up for a green-white-checkered. Again. Let's go back here. Let's take a look, see what happened. That's not a good view right there. So it looks like the one car did not get going, and that just stacked up everybody behind them. And Dakota LaRue looked like he probably got ran into from behind.
Yeah, probably got a little bump there, and then once that starts, like you said, it's just accordion style. It's impossible because when you're in lane like that, and then the cars in front of you start stopping, you really have no way to see that until it's too late.
Yeah, definitely not what a lot of these drivers were looking for. Let's take a look here off the back of bumper of Dakota LaRue. Oh, he had contact. That's what got him down in the grass. Oh.
Yeah, and he just about saved it.
Almost. That sucks. But we got Terry Fennell. He went through the grass, and Jack Kelly, he went through the grass.
Yeah, so Terry already back up in your top 10, and we're not going to see really any cars come down pit road since nobody needs to fix damage and no one needs any more fuel. So they're not going to give up any race positions at this point with only a couple laps to go.
Yeah. Alrighty. Alright, so
there's another driver we haven't talked about who's currently in the lead right now, Trevor Fettig in the 711. It's showing him in the league, but maybe not.
No, I'm showing him in the pits. Yeah, I'm showing that he actually...
Maybe iRacing is having a little glitch here. But I'm sure it'll sort out once we get past, get to the green flag here.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, where did he come from? Well, that would explain it. So Charles Joplin, your current leader, followed by, looks like Barry Nelson.
Yep.
And at 96, Troy Thomas, Matt Bettler, Kensley Smith, Blaine Klein, Terry Fennell, Mike Fudge, Andrew Teft, and Dakota. So these are all drivers with some experience, all drivers who are settled in, all drivers who have been up here in the front at one point or another through this race. So I think we're set for a good action-packed green-white-checkered where these guys can handle three wide, even through these turns and everything all the way to the end.
Oh yeah, for sure. As we're going to line them up for another green-white-checkered attempt here. Before we go back green... These guys do have... Well, they do have unlimited fast repair, too. So they do have 3 green-white-checkered attempts. So this is going to be the first of 3. Richie Joplin bringing them down to the green flag, getting a really good jump there in that number 89 machine. Barry Nelson, he's going to clear for that second spot. Troy Thomas comes up here in the 88, but here comes Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine.
Yeah, Richie got so far out there, that's dangerous at a draft track. I mean, these cars are going to have a momentum. They're going to have a run on him. We'll see if he can hold the lead.
Yeah, Barry Nelson doing everything he can to protect that second spot from Troy Thomas. But Troy Thomas there on the inside. Here comes Kensley Smith trying to get inside. They're going to go 3 wide for second here on turn number 4. Coming to the white flag. Kensley Smith up to second. White flag is in the air for Richie Joplin in that number 89 machine. Still, that outside lane trying to make it something work, but here comes Terry Fennell in that 50 machine. He's now working on the inside. Here comes Kensley Smith working the outside of Joplin. He's looking for the race lead as they all wreck behind him. But we're going to stay green flag here on the final lap. These guys now, Kensley Smith, he's taken over the race lead from Joplin, but Joplin's not done yet on the inside as Terry Fennell is helping Joplin. Joplin slides up the track, opens up the door. He's going to close it on the 50. And now here comes Kensley Smith. Here they come. Oh, crashing. And Kensley Smith, he's going to take over the race lead as we have 2 cars crashing here at the start-finish line. Craig McConey, he's going to sneak through for second. And Timothy Eisberg's going to bring it home third.
Wow.
What a craziness did we just experience? But Craig McConey coming home second. He wasn't even in the picture on the final lap.
Yeah, that was exciting. That 4-car pack at the front there, they decided to split 2 and 2, so those first and second leaders had a car behind them to help them in the draft, and it looks like one of them got up into, I can't remember who that was, got up into Kensley. Kensley bounced off the wall. It just collected all the other drivers, and Kensley drove away scot-free for that win.
Yeah, definitely absolutely crazy. Let's come back here, take a look. So we took the white. So first, let's come back here, take a look, and see what happened with Matt Metler. So he was one of the ones that got caught up in this incident back here with Troy Thomas, Andrew Teft. Ooh, one car just pounded the outside wall there.
And my back hurts watching some of these wrecks.
Yeah. So coming to the checkered.
Yeah, it looks like that 89 just got up a little bit too much.
Yep. Got into the 15. So the 89, he gets flung sideways up in the air. He will not make a full rotation. Then the 15. Wait. Oh, 89 is still not done.
89 decided to do a backflip or a front roll there. I'm not quite sure. 80 landed it.
Yeah. Once. There we go. 2, 3 times. 4 times. 5.
Does he land it?
And he lands it.
Okay, that's a 9.7.5.
All right.
9.75.
Dakota LaRue kicking it backwards there. Let's come back here. Let's take a look here at who was it? The 89. Richie Joplin.
Yeah, that's too unfortunate for him. Just cruising all night long, showing a lot of control of that car. But he does cross the finish line there.
He did cross the finish line 4th. Dakota LaRue, he got caught up here late in the wreck.
Like Dakota went in reverse there to finish his race.
Yeah. Oh, so he was actually up here with the race leaders at the end of this.
Yeah, I got swallowed up in that wreck there, unfortunately.
As you see him, he will stop it, throw it in reverse. He says, one way or another, I am finishing this race.
That's right. Ooh, almost beat out that red car.
Yeah. But he will bring it home 5th, I'm showing. Man, all around, what a crazy finish to this race as we have Kensley Smith down here on the racetrack doing his burnout. And before we talk with our top 3, let's go ahead and take a look here at our final race results. So your race winner is going to be Kensley Smith in that number 15 machine. Uh, all right, iRacing. Who do you got as second? Because I'm showing two different people here. Yeah, so Kensley Smith, then Craig, and then Timothy. Yeah, so I don't know why you're showing me something different here.
Yeah, I think iRacing got a little confused with that wreck there at the end, with some cars crossing the start finish line in the grass, some cars upside down.
Yeah, just a wee bit. So let me go ahead and let me hide this race result, and we're gonna come down here and grab the race results the old-fashioned way, maybe. Oh, is that what happened? No, wait. What are you doing? There we go. So Kinsley Smith, he will bring it home with the race win. Craig McConey comes home second. Timothy Eisburn will bring it home third. Richie Joplin fourth. Mike Fudge fifth. Dakota LaRue will bring it home sixth. Ryan Warp seventh. Terry Fennell will bring it home eighth. Barry Nelson ninth. And Matt Miller will round out your top 10. Andrew Teft, uh, Klein, he will bring it home 12th. That's Blaine Klein. Apologize about that. Jack Kelly, Troy Thomas, Alan Carter, Trevor Fetzig, Steve Castle, Kirby Wainscott will round out your top 18. 19th is going to be Brett Bray. Stephen Luttrell will bring home 20th, followed by Truth Hoke, Aaron Roth, Joe Bonner, Austin Sale will round out your 24 car field here today at Daytona. And now let's see if I bring up my next overlay, if it's going to give me the correct drivers here. Kensley Smith, Greg McConey. Yes, it did. How about that?
We go.
Absolutely. Now let's go ahead and take a look, see who is available for a chit chat. And let's start off with Timothy Eisburn, driver of that number 92 machine. Timothy, this is Mike and Brandon up in the booth. Do you got a copy?
Yeah.
Tim, man, what an incredible day for you. Up 18 spots, bring it home third. You've had an up and down day, and talk us through that final Green-White-Checkered there, and what was it like trying to fight to get into third?
Oh man, trying to avoid all the wrecks for sure. I mean, these cars was a handful. I mean, it was really hard. If you stayed in the gas going in the turn, you're going to just push all the way up to the wall. Uh, Best thing to do is get off the gas, let the car settle, and get back on the green, full throttle. Yeah, I was able to just drive up under people, because they slid up. And that's how I was moving through the pack early on, and just avoiding the wrecks at the very end. I'm surprised I made it this far.
Yeah, definitely. I
It
mean,
was a good day.
yeah, definitely. It's been a very rough couple of weeks for you for sure. But man, what does this do for you? Just for your thought process going into Sunday over at Darlington.
Well, I was doing good the last race over at Darlington. I just got messed up in a couple of bad wrecks, and it took me off contention and knocked the front nose of the car off. But I was able to come from the very back of the pack to the top 10, at Darlington before I start getting screwed up in other people's wrecks. And but I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Well, that's awesome. And Tim, before we let you go today, buddy, is there anybody that you would like to give a shout out to?
Well, uh, two teammates, Brett and Alan, they was out there racing tonight, and they was having a bunch of fun. And Yeah, I mean, Seiko, LLC, they still with me. I just can't get this trading paints, um, to work properly and for the paint jobs. So hopefully I can get that fixed very soon.
All right, yeah.
But
Reach out to me, Tim, and I'll sit with you and try to figure that out with you, buddy.
all right, that sounds great.
Alrighty, Tim. Well, congratulations on your third place finish here at Daytona, and we'll see you Sunday morning when we head over to Darlington.
All right, thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, driver of that number 92 machine, Timothy Eisberg. And Brandon, let's go ahead and bring up Greg McConey, driver of that number 12 machine, and I'll have you take it away. Greg, this is Mike and Brandon up in the booth. Got a copy.
Yeah, guys, what's up?
All right, Brandon, take it away.
Man, Greg, what a race. You were one that I brought up at the beginning of the race. I said, keep an eye on because Greg he's a smart racer. He knows when to push it. He knows when not. He knows how to adjust what he sees in a race. And, take us through this crazy race. What was your thought at the beginning when it was just a lot of power in these cars and everybody was trying to get a handle on it?
So, God, I haven't run these cars in years, and I don't remember them handling as poorly as they did tonight. I do remember they would blow the right front tire after, I don't know, 15 laps. But tonight, these things did not want to go into the corner at all. I don't know if you guys could see it on the broadcast, but in our in cars, we were seeing sparks all the way from the entry of the corner until at least 2/3 of the way through, from the left front just being off the ground. So there was no turn in these things. It was so much fun. I love all the horsepower that these things have. The aero flip models are so much fun as well. I love these cars. I was so upset when I got disconnected at one point, but thanks to Andrew for letting me get my laps back and just be able to race with everybody at the end. But no, these things are so much fun. I love these cars.
Yeah, it was definitely fun watching, and we did notice that with the sparks. We brought it up a couple times, just how low profile. I mean, all in all, just like you said, so much power in these cars. It looked like they were hard to handle, and something we usually don't see at super speedway racing and current gen next and NASCAR racing is where people have to let off the gas in the turns. It looks like you guys were having to do that as well.
Oh yeah, if you had you had to let off the gas if you were single file. If you were double file, there were times I would drag the brake as well to make sure I was not sailing it up the track into somebody. Um, God, these things with no restrictor plates is so much fun. I think what we were doing like 230 solo, and then you got in the draft and you're doing 250 plus. So much fun. So much fun, man.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun to watch too. We had though you had a few flips where you landed, other drivers did. We started to score your guys' flips. I think you came in at a 9.3, 9.4 at one point. But needless to say, you guys had fun. We had fun calling it. I think it was a show for everybody watching tonight. Greg McCody, great job tonight pulling out a P2 in the midst of all that chaos in those cars, and you guys just learning them from basically scratch tonight. Greg McConey, your P2 finisher, Races Elite Special Event Race.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for everybody that puts this on.
Yes, Greg, and sorry, anybody you want to shout out before we let you go?
I'll shout out my wife Sydney, does an amazing job. Shout out my family that tunes in and watches some of these races. You guys can't wait to go back and watch this thing. It's so much fun. Andrew puts on a great league. All the guys that come out and race here, it was just an absolute blast on no matter how you looked at it. So can't wait to come do another one with these guys. I love when I get the chance to, but we'll go into the next one and see what happens.
Sounds good, Greg, and we can't wait to have you back. Congratulations.
Appreciate it, man. Later.
Ladies and gentlemen, that's your runner-up finish driver of that number 12 machine, Greg McConey. Let's go ahead and bring up once again the Super Speedway master and ringleader Kensley Smith, driver of that number 15 Napa Auto Parts Chevy. Kensley, it's Mike and Brandon up in the booth. Got a copy. Oh, try that one more time, brother.
How's it going?
There you are. It's going good, man. Man, well, once again, you're on top here at a restrictor plate in a different car. You're up 18 spots from where you started, so had a really great, strong finish there. And talk us through that final Green-White-Checkered. What was going through your mind, and then coming out of turn 4.
I knew I had the fresh tires because I went in and pitted what the time before that. So I knew I could hang the throttle a little bit more in the corners than the other guys and stuff like that. So that's one thing that I was really counting on was I knew Joplin and everybody else up front was going to have to check up a lot going into the corners, and I could probably just ride the top a little bit and keep my foot in a little bit more than they could, and that's what really helped me be able to get up there beside Joplin. And then I guess Joplin just got tight and kind of ran me up to the wall. I know it wasn't intentional or anything, and I hate that it ended that way with me coming across by myself and not battling with somebody across. But all in all, it was a fun race. It was hectic. It was wild. No damage, and um, I mean, we did have the incident cap, so that was kind of hindering some people. But maybe one of these times we can get out here and not have an incident cap and just go crazy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely really great race all around. A little extra cautious than we anticipated, but still a lot of fun to watch out there. And um, yeah, man. Brandon, do you got any questions for your race winner?
You kind of already answered it, Kensley. I was wondering about how much tires went into play because, usually we see in the next gen cars, tires are really not irrelevant when it comes to these super speedway races. So just how important were fresh tires?
Important. I tried. They were very important. I tried just two rights, and it worked good for a couple laps, and then um, like it just died. I got super tight entering every corner and stuff like that. That was the run that I had on those tires before I went down for the last time to get my fresh tires. But yeah, the new tires were extremely valuable, and because as the run went on, your left front fender was kind of scraping the whole time, so it was keeping your left front tire off of the ground. So lefts weren't really an issue. It was more of the rights, and you were driving off the right side of your car basically all the way around the corners and on the front stretch most of the way. So yeah, I really felt a big difference when I got up to them those last couple of laps.
Yeah, well, needless to say, I mean, you figured it out with some other drivers. So again, congratulations on that P1 finish, coming out of the chaos on top.
Thank you.
Alrighty, and is there anybody that you would like to thank before we let you go today?
Of course, Andrew, for putting all this on, racing pretty much every night of the week, and all the dedication and hard work he puts in to put all this stuff on and get everything together for these things is commendable, and all of us appreciate it a lot. You guys in the booth, probably a really fun one to rewatch with all the helicopters taking off at the racetrack tonight. But it was fun on track, so I'm pretty sure it's going to be fun to rewatch. So thank you guys for being in the booth tonight. Of course, my wife and my daughter, probably going to have fun watching this with them. Um, and of course, all my guys at Drive Extreme Inc.
Alrighty, well, congratulations again, Kensley, on your first place finish here at Daytona. And we'll see you Sunday morning when we head over to Darlington.
Thank you.
Ladies and gentlemen, driver that number 15 machine, Kensley Smith. Now, I normally want to do this, but this is a fellow broadcaster. Let's go ahead and bring Dakota LaRue, driver that number 3, up here. Dakota, you got a copy?
Yeah, what's up?
All right, so you threw it in reverse and came back across the line backwards for 6th place. Tell us about that wild finish there.
I went from the back, dodged the first wreck, caught up to the leaders, had a really good run and a chance to pass him for the lead there. If I'd have been on the outside, I probably would have had it, but unfortunately, got caught in something, and I just learned from my channel manager, Ricky Bobby, and went across the line backwards.
Absolutely, wouldn't want it any other way. But man, it looked so much fun out there. It looked chaotic out there. How was the whole race? In your perspective.
I mean, a lot of cautions, but I was absolutely having fun. Everybody was almost in one big chat. We were all cutting up, having a good time. It was lovely. Great to get out there and just enjoy myself for once and not have to worry about racing for points or anything like that as I do in other leagues.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely looked like a lot of fun. But I'm glad you had fun. You came home sixth today, so congratulations there, and can't wait to have you back up in the booth on Sunday.
Yes, sir. Can't wait to go I believe Darlington the next
Yes,
gen, right?
sir. Yes, sir. Alrighty, Dakota. We'll see you Sunday morning, buddy.
See you in for.
Brandon, what is your final thoughts before we head out this evening?
I'd say one word: fun. That was fun for the drivers, obviously. That was fun to watch. Just there was action left and right, and it came right down to that last turn in the race before we could tell who was going to take the checkered. So, just all in all, fun race. I don't think this is the last time that we'll see these cars of tomorrow in one of these racer elite leagues races.
Oh no, definitely not. Once Andrew catches something, and the drivers here have absolutely fun with it, he usually does not change it. Uh, but on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we had an absolute blast here up in the broadcast booth. We hope that you guys had fun back at home, and we will see everybody Sunday morning live from Darlington for the Sunday premiere series right here on the Racers Elite Network. If you guys did like what you see here today, all the fun craziness, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Come back, join us Sunday morning. Head over to racerelite.com for all of our information of upcoming races and everything. Our Racers Elite store. Get all your Racer Elite apparel there to help support Racers Elite. And on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank everybody so much for joining us right here on the Racers Elite Network. On behalf of myself, I'm Mike Taylor up here in the booth alongside Brandon Sanfilippo. Thank you so much for joining, bud. And you have a good race on Sunday.
Hey, appreciate it. Appreciate the opportunity to be up here. It was a lot of fun calling with you, Mike. And like you said, great race coming up on Sunday morning. So we'll see you guys back for some more action.
Absolutely. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, always remember, no matter what you do in life, have fun doing it. And if it's not fun, you go and make it fun. And until next time, ladies and gentlemen, have yourself a beautiful time zone.